Bridgerton fans, get excited because the show has just been renewed for seasons 3 and 4. Hey guys, welcome back to another shared news from home. We have got to talk about this incredibly exciting Bridgerton news. But before we get into it, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. As always, I'm your host, Fiona Zaring, and I'm joined by the wonderful Mariah Davis. Mariah, this is so exciting. Let's just dive right into the details. We heard the news from Lady Whistledown herself. She shared the most joyous of news with her dear readers on April 13th when she confirmed that the show will return for seasons 3 and 4. She did not disclose any official dates, and she didn't hint at any of the details, but the news is exciting nonetheless. She wrote, "Esteemed members of the town, it seems we have a rather special announcement. Bridgerton shall return for seasons 3 and 4. This author shall have to purchase more ink. Yours truly, Lady Whistledown." So, obviously, Mariah, we don't have a lot to go off of here, but this is a huge announcement. Netflix doesn't do this a lot. They're not one of those streamers that, renews things for many seasons in advance. This is sort of a rare step. Obviously, it's a huge vote of confidence to the series. And honestly, I'm not that shocked. I mean, this has been such a crazy success. It's just great news all around.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you're so right. Netflix doesn't do this often, but it isn't too much of a surprise to me because Bridgerton took off in a way that I don't even think they expected it to. I mean, once you have like top tier celebrities rooting for it on their social medias, which by the way, they typically get paid millions of dollars anytime they give a business or a show, whatever, a shout out, but they're just doing it of their own free will because they love it. Kim Kardashian got Kendall Jenner hooked on it. And there's so many more like celebrities who have become obsessed with it, as the same with the rest of the world. So it's no surprise to me. Netflix is like, this is going to continue to bring in a lot of revenue. People love this. And after the year that we had in 2020, give us all of the shows that we require.
Yes. Yes, I am so with you. I mean, you're so right. The show literally broke records. Like, I think it had been out a week and we were already talking about it being like the most streamed thing ever. So it really does make a lot of sense. And they did a really good job of sort of teasing us early on with what the potential run for this show could look like, how many books there are, how many stories that could be told. And fans were thrilled. Fans, you didn't need to sell us. We were ready. We wanted more, more, more. So I think it's just good sense because, I mean, let's face it, it's an elaborate production. It's a huge cast. And so they probably want to lock down, the crew, the actors, the team now so that they're not constantly having to rebuild each season, further and further down the line. We do know a little bit about season 2. So we've talked about this before. It's going to focus on Anthony finding love. They're set to start production ASAP. We just keep hearing like it's coming, it's happening. We don't have an official date, but like it's happening really, really soon. Could be happening, I guess, as we speak right now, and they just haven't told us. They've announced some new exciting members of the cast, which is awesome. I think we have 4 new characters or 5 new characters to look forward to. We have all grieved the loss of Regé-Jean Page. We know he won't be coming back. That was a bit of a curveball for fans, but we've moved on. We've grieved the loss. We get it. Jonathan Bailey did spill some details to British Vogue saying, "Well, I feel like the campy plush spectacle of the Bridgerton world is only going to get more pronounced in the best way possible," which obviously is incredible. I think the whole spectacle of the world is really what pulled in so many people. It is just so well done. He continued saying, "It's mad and it's brilliant. There are also going to be a lot of brilliant characters introduced in this series, and it's not just Anthony that we're going to delve into." Obviously, we were already excited when I read that quote and I hear that the world is just going to get even flashier and the characters are just going to get even richer. Obviously, I'm just on cloud 9. I really have no doubts that they know what they're doing. And even though I loved Simon and Daphne so much in season 1, season 2 is almost going to be a new show in the same universe And I'm here for it. I just trust them. I think it's going to be really well done.
I agree. I'm going to be honest. When I first found out that season 2 was not going to continue with Simon and Daphne's storyline, I was disappointed because I'm like, you just spent a whole season making us fall in love with this story and like getting kind of like feeling a type of way during some of the scenes. So I was kind of disappointed. Like, I want to see this romance continue. I want to see more drama with them. But I also thought about it, and definitely after hearing his statement, it's like, okay, we trusted them before to deliver, and they did more than deliver. So we can trust that regardless who the storyline is going to be centered on, we have it centered on Anthony this season, and he's telling us there's going to be some more characters introduced. So I'm excited. I think no matter what, we can just trust that they are going to show up and show out yet again with another awesome season.
Totally. And the other thing is like the reality of the Bridgerton world, like where we left off. Obviously, I don't want to spoil it for anyone if you somehow haven't watched it yet, but there's just going to have to be some storylines from season 1 that continue to carry through, right? So
Right.
I think it's going to feel familiar in the best way possible and also totally new and fresh, which is great. And I mean, going back to the big news here, we know we're getting seasons 3 and 4 right now. And since we kind of have a pretty solid idea of where season 2 is going at this point, it just kind of begs the question, what can we infer about season 3 and season 4, if anything? And the reality is there are the books, right? So if we follow the book's trajectory, which we are doing as of right now, season 3 will be all about Luke Thompson's Benedict Bridgerton. So Luke obviously is the actor and will be taking the starring role as Benedict. And then we know that season 4 will star the other Luke in the cast, Luke Newton, as Colin Bridgerton. So that will mean we're going to get to see some of those younger Bridgerton boys who so far have just had, some cute lines, some cute moments here and there, really coming into their own and taking on their own seasons as well. In Colin's season, we think Nicola Coughlin's character, Penelope Featherington, would obviously have a larger role because they are so, close, intertwined already. So it feels like these seasons, if they're going to continue to follow the books, actually are probably fairly mapped out by now. They could be following that path. Would you be into that? Would we want to see those characters do what Antony obviously will be doing in season 2 and what we saw from Daphne in season 1?
Absolutely. And I think a good thing that they did with season 1, which we'll be able to expect from season 2, season 3, however long they continue, is they introduce characters. They give you just a little bit to where you get to know everybody that's involved in the storyline. So then when someone new comes at the start of the season, like Anthony, we're familiar with him and his storyline. We have feelings for him. We want him to find love. It didn't work out with what's her name, and that's fine because he was shady and he didn't deserve her, but now he's going to find love. And then moving forward, I think that's going to be the same thing. We get a little bit of each character's story, so we kind of develop our relationship with that character, and I think that's exciting for us as viewers to watch everything kind of unfold for them.
Yeah, that's a really great point. I mean, it's not like Anthony right now is a stranger. Like, you are so right. We were invested in him in season 1. He had a huge role in season 1. So as, the next Bridgerton in line season inches nearer and nearer, we will probably get to know them, get to be excited about them, sort of unpack their characters a little more in the, seasons heading into that, which is so interesting. And I mean, listen, obviously our hearts broke when it was announced that Regé wouldn't be returning, but he did make a good point, which is it's not like they left us with a cliffhanger, right? It's not like we didn't know that those two found their happily ever after. So I think it will, as we grow into this show a little bit more and get more comfortable with the setup and the structure, we will see these people that we will be invested in, will care about, will be excited to be on their journey. And then when we leave them, hopefully the trend continues of we leave them in a good place. We know that they're taken care of. We know that they're happy and we're ready to move on. Because the other thing is, I'm curious now, we lost Regé. Could we potentially lose some other characters along the way? I mean, I'm thinking about like the youngest Bridgerton children, right? Season, I don't know, 6, 7, right? Like if we're going that far down the line, will someone like Phoebe still be an integral part of the story at that point? It feels like this show sort of is going to be a revolving door of old favorites, new characters, so that the show can kind of go on year after year after year and always feel fresh and new, which is very unique, all things considered.
I definitely think that unfortunately we could be at risk of losing Phoebe because she started out with the first season. I know her character's role is still really huge, even though the season isn't going to be centered around her journey anymore. She found her happily ever after, but she still is such a relevant character as the older sister. She still kind of runs the show a little bit and helps out with the family. And we're going to see her in season two. But like you said, I mean, we don't know how long Netflix is going to keep this up. And I would imagine it's going to be as long as Bridgerton just shakes everybody to their core and everyone's in love with it. They're going to keep producing seasons, I would imagine. But I think there's definitely a possibility that we stop seeing her because so much of her role is kind of contingent on this beautiful marriage that she has with Simon. And, we could expect him to make some guest appearances in future seasons. I think it's safe to say we're not going to see him at all in season two, but maybe season three, season four, that door is still open. And maybe he could make a few guest appearances, which I would love because he's just a beautiful person. And who doesn't love to look at him? Phenomenal actor, totally gave us everything we needed for that character. But I worry. I think that's a good point. I think we could lose some more characters along the way, just depending on how long Netflix keeps this up. But I will say, what's interesting when people create film versions off of book series, they always kind of add a couple of new parts to the story. So that could also mean introducing some new characters that nobody was familiar with if they had read the books, which I love because it gives us an opportunity to meet new people.
Yeah, it's totally, you're so right. Like, we know as of right now, party line is the door is always open to Ray. So, depending on how the show continues to evolve, fan favorite characters, schedules permitting, like, it is a family, right? At the end of the day. So, a family member could pop in at any time to say hello, which I think is just what's so wonderful about this universe. The stories are so broad, there's so many characters to explore. The world they've created is so rich and so fun for viewers. Honestly, it just makes so much sense that Netflix already locked this down for a season 3 and season 4. I would not be surprised if by the time season 3 is on, we are getting more announcements about like a season 5, a season 6, because the possibilities truly just are so endless. You guys, that's everything we know for now from Lady Whistledown. Obviously, there's going to be more news in the future, so we promise to keep you posted. In the meantime, we want to know what you make of this. Are you thrilled to hear we are getting more seasons? Let us know down in the comments. And before you go, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell because we promise to keep you updated on all things Bridgerton all the time. As always, I'm your host, Fiona Zaring. I was joined by the wonderful Mariah Davis. If you want to come say hi, our social handles are on the screen right now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.